This video contains graphic accounts of murder, domestic abuse, and disturbing allegations involving children. What you're about to hear is not fiction. This is a real story of betrayal, horror, and chilling violence. It involves the brutal murder of a mother, her friends, and a killer's haunting confession. Jennifer Lannon was a devoted mother of 5, 2 children from a previous marriage, and 3 young children with Sean. She held a bachelor's and a master's degree from Rutgers University, Camden, and earned her RN license from the Helene Fluid School of Nursing. Though they legally divorced in 2019, Sean and Jennifer tried to reconcile later that year. Fortunately, friends and family said their escalating use of meth, heroin, and prescription drugs sabotaged both their marriage and any existence of peace. Property records show Sean's last known address was in Grants, New Mexico. Before that, a trail of addresses scattered throughout southern New Jersey. In 2015, he and Jennifer filed for bankruptcy, listing only $14,000 in assets against over $550,000 in debt, including $83,000 in student loans. Their combined income, just $13,000. A financial dream team, clearly. Now, according to court records, the New Mexico Child Welfare Department allowed Jennifer only supervised visitations with her children due to concerns about her use of prescription drug abuse. Then, in late January 2021, Sean claimed he came home to find Jennifer, age 39, and her boyfriend, Jesten, 40, having sex. He told investigators the pair had drugged the kids so they could sleep through it. After Jesten left, Jennifer allegedly panicked, convinced the children were dead. According to Sean, he said that she tried to overdose on heroin, but failed, and he claimed he shot her in the head with Jesten's gun. He told the police he planned to take his own life immediately right after, but the sound of one of his children crying had stopped him. Instead, he wrapped up Jennifer's body and the blood-soaked bedding in a large plastic storage tote and left her in the backyard. Roughly a week later, Sean admitted to using Jennifer's own phone to lure Jesten back to the house. When Jesten arrived, Sean had shot him in the back of the head. Then he dismembered the body and stored it in a second plastic tote. Jennifer's mother, Sharon Whitmore, told investigators Sean had started answering her daughter's phone. And her brother, Chris Whitman, said Sean told the family Jennifer had run off to Arizona with some friends. Chris didn't buy it, saying Jennifer was a loving mom who would never abandon her kids. Shortly after Jesten's death, Sean brought over Matthew Miller, a friend of Jesten's. He accused him of supplying drugs and a sexual abuse of one of Sean's children, before shooting him in the back of the head and placing his body yet in another plastic tote. However, according to Detective Sergeant Robert Turney of the Grants Police Department, at this time, we don't have any evidence to support any kind of child abuse or anything inappropriate done with the children. Now here's where the case takes another disturbing turn. These murders didn't happen in some isolated cabin or remote location. No, they happened in a friend's house in Grants, New Mexico, because nothing says thanks for letting me crash at your place like multiple homicides and a good bleach job. To cover his tracks, Sean ripped out the carpeting and flooring and used so much bleach that the neighbors said Sean developed blisters on his skin, and yes, he was still living there with his children. On February 12, 2021, during an interview with the police, Sean claimed Jennifer and Jesten had gone to Arizona with Miller to get drugs. Investigators later learned that he had also been seen stashing a firearm and Jennifer's ID, details that unraveled the story further. Around February 24, 2021, Sean hired a man named Randall Apostalon, a local man who often did odd jobs for cash and sometimes slept in his truck. Sean offered to pay him to move some boxes. They drove around Albuquerque looking for a storage unit, but found none available. When Randall eventually demanded money and that the containers had to be removed from his truck, Sean realized he had run out of options. He struck Randall in the face multiple times, then killing him with a small sledgehammer from the truck of the cab. He cleaned the interior, placed Randall's body in the passenger seat, and covered it with a black tarp. But Sean still wasn't done yet. Oh no. On March 5th, 2021, he drove the truck with all the totes and Randall's body and his children to Albuquerque International Sunport. Then he boarded a plane with his 3 children, ages 7, 6, and 4, and flew to South Jersey. He dropped off the kids at Jennifer's parents' house, claiming he was going to head back to New Mexico to find her. But instead of searching for Jennifer, he went to visit someone else. His former big brother, Michael Dabkowski, 60-year-old, living in East Greenwich Township, New Jersey. Michael had met Sean and his twin through a big brother, big sister program back in the 80s. Sean would later claim that Michael had sexually abused him, and he kept proof. On March 8th, Sean broke into Michael's home, grabbed hammers from the garage, and bludgeoned him to death. The U.S. Marshals arrested Sean 2 days later on March 10th in St. Louis after spotting him driving Michael's vehicle. In October 2022, Sean pleaded guilty to Michael's murder and was sentenced to 35 years in New Jersey. Then, on June 15th of 2023, he was extradited back to New Mexico to face charges for the murders of Jennifer, Jesten, Miller, and Randall. In May of 2024, Sean pleaded guilty to those killings as well. He was given 4 consecutive 15-year sentences, totaling 60 years, to be served after completing his 35-year sentence in New Jersey. As if all of this wasn't horrifying enough, Sean has also claimed responsibility for killing 11 drug dealers in Grant's area, but so far, police have not found any evidence and no bodies to back that claim. On one final more important note, in 2022, Jennifer's 3 young children were officially adopted by her family. A GoFundMe page remains active to help support their upbringing. Thank you so much for tuning in for another gripping case. So be safe, and maybe, just maybe, don't let someone just stay at your place for a while without knowing who you're really inviting in your house. Until next time, please stay safe, look out for one another, and please lock your doors. Bye for now.